back with our podcast again, and this time it's happening on FIFA 21. Very delighted to have Lisa, one of our female players, and she's been phenomenal throughout the year. And already she's looking. So you've reached Division 1, is that right? In Rivals?
Yeah, I'm on, I think, 2,050 skill rate at the moment, so only 150 off, well, the max skill rate you can actually get.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So, and I mean, there's not many female FIFA gamers in the scene, and we're glad that she's on our side and doing so well. So, Lisa, starting off, firstly, how do you like the game? I want an honest opinion.
Yeah, I actually do like the game. I feel like it sort of suits my style of play. Obviously, I sort of like to go down the wing and sort of either do a few skill moves, cut in, or sort of go down on the line and then sort of cut in, pass into players, and sort of like to keep the ball as well. So I think that sort of suits my style. I think they're actually going to be nerfing the sort of Lacquer, which is the Elastico, which I think it's like one of my favourite skill moves. So it's quite annoying about that. Sort of, I think they're making it slower or something. So it's quite annoying, but obviously just got to learn a few more skill moves and then hopefully get the highs 25, 27s for this first week, especially with my team as well.
Yeah, so talking about the team, do you want to show the fans your team?
Yeah. Show you my team. So yeah, this is my team.
Wow.
Obviously, I think it's quite a good team, yeah. Had like 120,000 FIFA points, which to be fair is quite a good team for that. Because to be honest with you, I didn't really pack anything good. Only thing I really packed was this Ben Yedder here, which you can see. He's first owner. So he was like the best player that I packed, and Kevin De Bruyne at the 120. I think there was about 3 walkouts.
How much does Ben Yedder go for, the inform?
I think he's actually about 450 at the moment. He might have slightly gone up. Yeah, he's about 450. He's been around that price for a while, but I think when I packed him, he was about 320k. He's obviously gone up a little bit, but to be honest with you, Robertson and KDB was my best pulls, my only walkouts throughout the 120k. So to have the sort of the rest of the team is quite good. I mean, I've been just selling everything in my club contracts and stuff like that to sort of get the rest of the team. I had Van Dijk here, but I thought I would actually sell him because I've heard Joe Gomez is just the same, and I sort of want to try and save for Garinchka. I've just packed this Pogba here, untradeable, today, so I was thinking about sort of doing that and having someone that's sort of small and big, but I feel like he's a bit sluggish, so I'm not sure whether to just keep Kante for now, because my aim is to do this, sell Ben Yedder, and obviously sell Kante, and then he'll be Garinchka, because I should have enough coins with everyone in my club, but yeah, I don't know. Because I feel like I just want Kante instead because he's sort of a lot more agile.
I think even I saw a lot of tweets, saying Pogba is a bit sluggish, not so good. I mean, maybe in attack, but defensively, I don't think that's. I don't know.
To be honest with you, I think he's good defensively. I think because obviously he's quite tall. He's got like long legs and stuff to sort of block stuff. But I think with FIFA, well, especially in Division 1, you've got to sort of play fast and, attacking. And with him, as soon as you pass the ball, he just has a really heavy touch and then it just sort of kills the move. So I think having like someone like Kante and Renato, who's sort of quite small and quite agile to actually just help you attack. So I think that's the only problem. But other than that, I think he's good defensively, he gets in the way. And obviously for corners, he's tall as well. And if I have Renato and Kante, they're quite small. So I've obviously got to rely on Joe Gomez and Varane to sort of header it. So it's obviously a risk if they've got someone like Ronaldo in their team to sort of head the balls.
Yeah, I would be damned if I had to play against this team in my first weekend. So people do not have. I mean, I've seen some starter squads, and this is actually quite good. I mean, I'm guessing. So what formation do you play in the game once you just start?
The only reason why I really want to change it to Garinchka is because at the moment I've got I play 4-2-2-2 in games. So obviously I have two strikers. And I have obviously Ronaldo at the moment and Ben Yedder. And I feel like having Mbappe on the wings, obviously I've got a lot of sort of wing/cams, aren't they, in the 4-2-2-2. But obviously Neymar's fine on the wing. And like I said, I like to skill move in, or I like to just do skill moves. And having Ben Yedder on the wing wouldn't really work for that because he's only 4-star. But I feel like Mbappe is really wasted on the wing. He does do a good job, but I feel like he is wasted. So I feel like having someone like Garinchka and having Mbappe and Ronaldo up front would probably do good. But obviously that means I have to sell Kante and sort of sell quite a lot of stuff in my club to sort of get it. So, I don't know.
Yeah,
it's sort of hard, really, to decide.
This looks like a very decent squad, and I think, once the weekend league. So, there's no patch coming before this weekend league, which obviously comes out tomorrow. So, I think, with this team, 27 definitely possible. And
it is possible.
Got to be a hard time for, opponents just to, deal with it. And talking about, dealing with like attack and everything, the defense in this game, a lot of people say it's not been so easy as far as I can see. And I think that's great. And as for the skill gap, I think that's better. I think if you're able to defend effectively, I mean, obviously you can have, the best players. You can have Ronaldo's, you can have Messi, whatnot. So, but I think if this year, if you're half decent, I think you have a better chance. I'm not saying you'll win the game, but I think you have a better chance than, FIFA 20 on maybe grabbing the win. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously having a better team is always going to give you an upper advantage on your opponents, especially, I think, as you said, I mean, this is probably one of the best teams you've probably seen. I mean, obviously having, like you said, the better team helps because you can sort of overpower your opponents, but obviously you still have to have some sort of skill, ability in your locker to sort of do the things to get past them. Like that you said with defending this year, obviously I think more than ever, I think using your right stick to sort of switch players and instead of using LB or doing both. I mean, because obviously if you can sort of use LB, drag the player out and then quickly switch to another player to stop the passing lane, it really does help. So I think it's also about skill this year as well. You need to be able to defend, or otherwise they're just going to go past you, especially with skill moves. I think this year skill moves is sort of quite a big thing as well. So I think having the sort of, the ability to defend also helps. Obviously you can outscore your opponent, but if you can't defend, they're going to score more. So it's sort of, you just got to have sort of a balance between defending and attacking to sort of win your games.
Yeah, absolutely. And this year I've noticed like the defensive area, it's not so smart. Even though defensive midfielder, they do not track back unless you control them manually and just like get them back. So I think that's why it leaves a lot of gaps in the attacks, and it's quite easy to score a goal. And most of the games I've played personally, I've been uh, five goals, 6 goals average in a game. I think that's good. I think it's bringing the joy back to FIFA. It gives me sort of the vibes from the days of FIFA 15.
Yeah, you can definitely score a lot of goals. I feel like they've made a thing where you can sort of press as well. I don't know what I think it's like team press, and I think this year that's sort of more better than other years. I feel like whenever my opponents do it to me, it puts you under a lot of pressure. You make mistakes, and obviously I think people doing that as well leaves gaps as well. Like you sort of, if you're not that good at FIFA and people do it to you, you sort of panic and you give the ball away easily. And I think this year as well, when you do it, your players actually don't lose fitness from what I've noticed. So it's sort of OP as well. So I think, yeah, obviously I think this year's probably going to be one of my best years as well. So hopefully I can sort of, especially with this team. Normally I have this team sort of mid game as well. So I think having, like you said, the better team would definitely help.
So now you have this team. We're only like in the first month of FIFA, not even the first month, first few weeks, and you have this team. Weekend League is coming up. FIFA Global Series 2021 has been announced. So what's going to be your plan? How do you want to approach the season?
Obviously the first thing to do to sort of enter and compete obviously is to get 27 wins. So obviously with this team, that's very doable. It's probably overdoable if anything. So the first sort of aim is to get 27 wins. Also, a lot of things recently have been announced on Twitter, if you've seen, with the girls only tournaments and sort of trying to get more females into the game. So I'm going to be entering as many tournaments as I can as well. Like that, obviously anyone can join, and some of them are female only as well, to sort of try and boost myself up there. And that also help as well. And just playing against other people in NFG to sort of get advice on what I'm doing wrong or what I can do better or what I'm actually doing right to carry on doing. So I think just sort of playing a game as much as possible, playing better people as me. Obviously, as like you said earlier, I'm in Division 1, so just keep playing Division 1, trying to play the better people and sort of try and, get better that way as well.
Yeah, so just talking about your journey, I know you joined us back then in 2019 when FIFA 19 came out. So how has your, do you want to showcase how you started off and, the journey towards Division 1?
Yeah, I mean, in FIFA 19, obviously, when I first joined, I think I was getting anywhere between 11 to 14 wins, more 14 than 11. But when I first started, I think FIFA 19, I was getting about 11 wins. Obviously, Christian wanted to get more females into esports, so he sort of knew that people told him about me on Twitch, and obviously he spoke to me about it. And then since joining the team, obviously I played people on the team. They'd give me advice, like I sort of mentioned earlier. And then I just started going up in wins from 14 to 17, and then sort of went from 17 to 20, and then consistently got 20, and then from 20 to 23. And I think the first time I got 23, I ended up getting 24, losing my last game for 25. So it just shows that the dedication, having the support behind you, actually can get you better on the game and getting you closer to 27 wins, really.
Absolutely. And so what do you think was your go-to plan? Because, I see a lot of people just playing the game, grinding it out and just like play numerous games. So do you think it's more about hard work or more about smart work? You analyze your games, you watch it afterwards and see, where did you go wrong? What defensive errors did you use to do? So what was your, ways to improve yourself over the course of years?
I think when I first joined, obviously, I think there was a coach called Luke, and he sort of watched my games back and said, and sort of we watched it together, and he sort of said, actually, this is what you're not doing is right. You're sort of getting mad as soon as you lose the ball, and I think it's also about FIFA. You can't lose your head. It's sort of like real life. If you lose your head, you sort of you play stupid passes. So I think he's just sort of said to stay calm. If you go one of down, it's not over. Just carry on playing the way you play.
Mm-hmm.
So and he also looked at what I was doing sort of defensively. If was I pushing out a defender too far, and it meant there was gap in behind. So I think it was just about having the right advice and obviously people helping me that are better than me.
Yeah, absolutely. I think playing against, better players, I think definitely helps. And in rivals, you're going to be matching up with people with a similar skill set, most likely. And yeah, I mean, you match up, since you're in the EU, you match up with Tex, with the likes of, Tex or the hashtag team. And yeah, definitely it's a good chance to improve your game. So FIFA 21, I mean, I think great year ahead. Only one week into the game. And any special players do you have? Any go-to players who save your game, save your day?
I think defensively, I think Varane definitely saves the day. Before I had Van Dijk, obviously, I was just noticing him a lot, just sort of making interceptions, like key interceptions. I think obviously going forward, my first sort of player that I got in my team was Neymar, and he was sort of, like you said, the go-to person for scoring goals for me, just doing sort of a skill chain, sort of doing the roulette and the elastico, sort of just going past everyone. I think I've scored a few goals from that. So I think just Neymar with the skill moves and the sort of, I mean, I don't know what his stats are for me actually, but let's have a look. I mean, he's played 94, scored 38. He's obviously got more assists than that, but I think for a winger, that's not that bad.
Yeah,
obviously, he's played quite a few games, and obviously he's five-star, so he can shoot on either foot. So I think just going down the wing and sort of cutting in really does help. And obviously, I think Kante as well. You can notice him quite a lot as well.
Yeah, this is one of the, I would say this is one of the better teams I've seen. But, people on Twitter, I've seen already packing R9s and already, having Eusebios in their team. I think, yeah, it's going to be a pure sweat and grind this time. But I think a team like this, I think you can go head-to-head against anyone. Because Varane is quite good. I mean, defensively, I think I would prefer more on the defense this time, because it's quite harder to master. Because I think attack is much more easier, and it's anyone can attack. So I think that's my personal way of playing this game this year. And yeah, I actually for the first time in the last 3 years, I'm having a lot of fun playing a FIFA game. Earlier it was just like grinding it out and just like hard work, but this time it's so much fun. What do you think? The fun element has come back for me for now.
Yeah, for me as well. I mean, I haven't actually got mad on the stream about the game, like, since the game's come out. Obviously, I think having the better players helps, because, you can sort of out strengthen your opponent. But I think I've actually been wanting to come back and actually play the game. So I think there is definitely an element of fun this year. I mean, obviously, Weekend League, we haven't played Weekend League yet, so that might be a different scenario with how people play or whatever. But I think, it's definitely a lot more fun than what it was last year, at least.
Yeah. So just cutting back to, just moving ahead from FIFA. So how is life outside of FIFA? I know you play football now. I've seen some good crosses over the weekend. Yeah. So how was that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously that was I have been playing FIFA football, for like the last few weeks anyway, but I've only been able to sort of play 45 minutes because I've actually got a knee injury. I mean, I was on Sunday meant to only play 45 and ended up playing a full 90, so which felt good, but maybe afterwards, maybe not so much, because obviously I've still got a knee injury, so it sort of did sort of hurt a bit. But yeah, I mean, back to playing football, which is obviously good because it's fun and sort of is the best thing for me at the moment for out of FIFA anyway. So I think that was good. Sort of get back into it, have fun with friends and stuff like that. So definitely does help.
Think it helps, like involving yourself in a physical activity when you're like sitting on the screen for 9-10 hours and then you go and play football. And once you come back onto the screen, I think it definitely helps. Because after a certain point of time in the game, I think once you've learned everything, I think it's more about the mental edge, as you said, about the mindset in the game, not losing your cool. I think exercise definitely helps.
Yeah,
And
that's the right.
that's why a lot of people ask me, about the team, about the players, like what sort of discipline do they follow. So I think it's more about, it's not just playing the game for 12 hours, 15 hours. It's also keeping a discipline and a balanced lifestyle. I mean,
Yeah.
sleeping early, obviously you can stay up late night, but you do need to get a certain amount of sleep hours. And it's just like football. I mean, football, obviously players, they do practice a lot, but they also take rest. So I think, yeah, a break away from FIFA definitely helps.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
yeah, that brings us to the end of the podcast. It was great to join you, and I know you stream a lot. So would you like to tell the people about your Twitch channel and what times do you usually go live so they can join in?
I mean, to be fair, at the moment it's sort of random times, but it's normally between 6 p.m. and anywhere between 5 a.m. So it's just sort of when I normally it starts at 6 every day and sort of ends at any time in the night. So
Yep.
a day.
So yeah, I mean, I'll put your link in the description now, and yeah, players can join in. And I saw EA doing a shout out to you. A lot of people, joined your stream earlier this week.
Yeah, can you
Yeah.
still hear me?
Sorry. Yeah,
Can
yeah,
you
I
still
can
hear
hear
me?
you.
I just
Yeah.
said that my mic went. EA obviously been doing a thing FIFA Friday on the release day, and they picked certain streamers to sort of go into and give codes to, and I was the last person it did, so I was quite lucky to give away a few codes and get a few new faces in the stream. So definitely helps in terms of
Perfect.
growing.
So yeah, hope you do well this weekend. Have a cracking weekend, and not just 27s. I'd like to see a 30-0. And yeah,
Yeah, hopefully, especially with the team.
all right. Thanks for joining in, Lisa, and
Yeah,
we'll see you next week. All right.